Today, I added two new teams to the NBA, the Seattle Supersonics and Las Vegas Vipers. As a result of these two new teams being added, the Grizzlies were moved over to the Eastern Conference, and there's going to be a big expansion draft coming up. In the expansion draft, each existing team gets to select 8 players that they want to protect, and then the new teams will be able to pick from the players that were let go in the expansion draft. So let's get straight to it. The Sonics have the first pick, and they got Jalen Duren, a great player to start off their franchise. The Vipers got Brad Beal and Drew Holiday. The Sonics also got Zach LaVine. So it looks like these teams are going to be adding some solid talent to their rosters. And in this video, these teams are going to be racing to see which one can win an NBA championship first. So the draft was very important for both teams because this is going to be how they get a head start on building their roster. Here's what the Seattle Supersonics are looking like. I mean, not too shabby. Maybe they could be a play-in squad. And the Las Vegas Vipers have Bradley Beal and Drew Holiday. That's a pretty good backcourt. Again, maybe they could be a play-in team as well. So let's simulate the season and see how it goes for both these squads. Season number 1 for Vegas and Seattle is all wrapped up, and Jalen Duren wins Most Improved Player. It really is a Pistons type of move to let go of their 84 overall 20-year-old big man who had a good rookie season. I mean, that makes no sense that the Pistons let them go. Did I see that correctly? The Sonics are the number 1 seed? How did they do this? I mean, I thought their team was cool, maybe a play-in squad, but hold on. It was Zach LaVine leading the way. Spencer Dinwiddie gets his contract in cryptocurrency, and he's the second leading scorer. Are you kidding me? Yeah, this got to be some type of miracle because I don't understand how this happened. Meanwhile, over in Vegas, it was a little more normal. They won 43 games, which is still cool. They ended up making it into the play-in tournament. Maybe they could face Seattle in the first round, a battle of the new NBA teams. I don't remember Fred VanVleet being with the Vipers earlier on, so I'll have to see if they made a trade, but it was Brad Beal leading the way in scoring. Not too surprising there. And yeah, the Vipers traded Max Strus and Joe Harris for Fred VanVleet and Reggie Bullock. That's not bad at all. Now let's see if Vegas can make it out the play-in tournament. No, they can't, but we got to keep a close eye on Seattle because they're going crazy. They're going to have to take on the 8-seeded Kings who just came out the play-in, but what's weird is the Kings match up really well with this 1-seed team. I mean, I feel like the Kings are better on paper, but we'll see how this goes. The Sonics have a 1-0 lead early. They're up 2-0. They're up 3-0, and they beat the Kings in 4 games. Now we've got the Dallas Mavericks in round number 2. The Mavs with Luka and Kyrie are going to be tough to stop, considering you have Zach LaVine and Spencer Dinwiddie guarding them. Game 1 of the series goes to the Sonics. The Mavs are going to take Game 2. Game 3 also goes to the Mavs. We're tied up at 2 apiece headed into Game 5. Let's get into this. Imagine a team joining the league and winning the championship in the same season. That would be wild. And in game number 5, we end up losing by 7 points. Luka and Kyrie pieced us up, especially Luka. 47, 12, and 8 is insanity. And now we're down 3-2. Season on the line here, and we're going to 4-7 Seattle, making noise in their first season as a franchise. And in game 7, we've got the lead. We might just advance. We're gonna advance. We're headed to the conference finals. Zach LaVine, 25. The Trey Lyles game. They're gonna hang his jersey in the rafters. I don't know how we won this when Kyrie had 43. Luka had 31, 12, and 10. Our team literally won through the power of friendship. Look at all the contributions we were getting from so many different guys. And now we're moving on to the conference finals against the Clippers, who have Harden, PG, Kawhi, and also the Brody coming off the bench. If we somehow beat this team, I'm gonna be flabbergasted. Game number 1 of the series goes to LA. Game 2 is gonna go to us. They're up 2-1, but we're gonna tie it up at 2 apiece, setting up a big game 5 here. It got really close in those final seconds, but in game 5, we're once again going to lose. Now, last series, we lost game 5 as well, and we were able to fight back, so let's see if we can do it again. We've got a 3-point game here with our season on the line, and we have 100 big men in the lineup. Trey Lyles really might be running point guard right now. What is 2K cooking? Paul George has the ball. He's defended by Nick Richards. George at the foul line gets the screen from Zubac, floats one up and hits it. They better hurry up and get the starters in, man, because this is ugly. Trey Lyles, defended by Russell Westbrook, gonna dump it down to Capella. Come on, Clint, just use your size on Kawhi. It goes back out to our point guard, Trey Lyles. Oh my goodness! No way! The 5 big man lineup. Trey Lyles lobs one to Clint Capella. Paul George bringing up the basketball, defended by Nick Richards. Screen's gonna come from Ivica Zubac. George steps it back, deep 3, and playoff P misses it. We get the rebound. Trey Lyles bringing up the basketball. Lyles defended by the Brody. Just get another lob play going or some. Screen's gonna come from Capella. Capella to the basket. Trey Lyles is the greatest. Magic Johnson, who? Do y'all see the way Trey Lyles is throwing out dots? I told y'all, they're gonna hang his jersey in the rafters in Seattle. And I know y'all saw the stats. His stats were trash. But guess what? In the clutch, he's coming alive. Nick Richards defended Paul George. George over to Zubac. Now it goes over to Powell. It gets to Kawhi. That's a bad shot. We get the rebound. Oh my goodness, the 8 million big man lineup is working to perfection. Lyles down to Duren. We're the greatest team ever. Jalen Duren dunks one home, and we're up by 1. Don't even sub out all the big men, bruh. Forget putting in the starting lineup. This lineup's going crazy. All right, now we've got a normal lineup in, and I'm kind of scared. I feel like we're about to start getting pieced up. Paul George to the basket, and we should have kept the bigs in. Come on now. They didn't even score on us when we had all those big men and we started to go on a crazy run. But then PG runs right in on Christian Brown and gets a layup. Our guy Trey Lyles, he would have never let that happen. Ball goes into Zach LaVine. LaVine defended by Norman Powell. We're down 1 and we need to keep our season alive. Zach LaVine, he's got some room. Floats it up and it's good. Big bucket from Zach LaVine. No timeouts left for the Los Angeles Clippers. Under 15 seconds to go. Paul George has the ball. Christian Brown, we need the best defense of your entire life. George at the top of the key. He's holding for the last shot. PG trying to lull Brown to sleep. He pulls the 3 and he misses. We're going to game 7. That might have been one of the craziest games I have ever hopped into. Trey Lyles, you are truly the greatest ever. But that game is all for nothing if we don't win in game 7. So we gotta take this one home. I mean, we just had such a crazy game. There's a minute 49 left in the game and the big man lineup is in once again. We're down by 6 points, but that's nothing when you have the big ball lineup in with Trey Lyles at point guard. Lyles down to John Collins. Come on, John. Just use your size on Norman Powell. Back him down. Back him down. Shoot the ball. You're in the paint too long. He gives it out to Capella, over to Duren. Duren defended by Leonard. It's going to go over to Lyles. Trey Lyles, just take it to the basket. Y'all are bigger than them. What are you doing? There's no time left. We have to shoot. Lyles, mid-range J. He misses. Duren the rebound. Put it back up. And Jalen Duren is going to get the tip in. Minute 23 to go here. We're within 4. Paul George bringing up the basketball. He's defended by Nick Richards. Screen's going to come from Mason Plumlee. George gives it down to Kawhi in the post. Kawhi posted up on Clint Capella, and he's going to go to the line. First foul shot for Leonard is cash. And oh man, they subbed in our normal lineup. Second one is also good. Zach LaVine has the basketball. We might need you to go for 3, Zachary. LaVine to the basket, floats one up and misses. Oh no. Terrence Mann has it, swings it to George. George for 3, and Paul George. Oh man, that was a bad shot. Spencer Dinwiddie bringing up the basketball. Dinwiddie over to LaVine. LaVine, we need one out of you expeditiously right now. LaVine at the top of the key, waiting to make a play. Screen comes from Collins. Zach LaVine to the basket. He has no room. He's getting clammed. He gives it over to Dinwiddie. Oh man, Dinwiddie's gonna have to shoot it. She pulls the 3 ball and he misses. Kawhi the rebound. That's gonna mark the end of our season. But what a run it was, filled with so many fun moments. That hopping game with Trey Lyles was the greatest thing to ever happen on this channel. That's a promising start for the Seattle Sonics though. I mean, wow. I did not expect them to do so well in season number 1. And now they've got a whole offseason to do whatever they want to try and improve the team. Same thing goes for the Vegas Vipers. We'll see what they do in terms of offseason moves. Alright, so we just simulated through the whole offseason and the Vegas Vipers didn't really pick up anybody notable for their squad. So they might be around that play-in territory once again. And the Sonics kept their squad together, but that might not necessarily be a bad thing. I mean, they were 1 game away from going to the NBA Finals. So let's get into season number 2. I hope we see some more success from the Vegas Vipers this year. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Season is wrapped, and it was another sensational season for the Sonics. As you can see, Milan Mack wins Coach of the Year. Maybe he's a coaching prodigy or something, because I don't understand how they're so good, with all due respect. The team is solid, but their highest overall player was Jalen Duren. Zach LaVine, he's a bucket for sure, but like, really? This team, number 2 seed? Are you kidding me? But I'm proud of them. Good stuff from the Sonics. And as for the Vipers, they were absolutely terrible. They only won 17 games, which is fine, because they can have a chance to get a generational prospect in the NBA draft. That's what they're going to have to be rooting for, though, that the lottery balls go their way, because if they don't, they might just be cooked. In the meantime, though, we got to watch the Seattle Supersonics playoff run. In round number 1, they've got a rematch against the Kings. Last year, they took them on in the first round as well. And the Kings are going to get smacked by the Sonics once again. It's a sweep. Round number 2, we got the Portland Trail Blazers. This Blazers team really isn't that good, with all due respect. Yo, Bronny's starting at point guard for the Sonics? I didn't even notice that. Hold on, Bronny. Hey, I mean, Bronny, oh, never mind. Look at the shooting splits, but he's putting up 8 assists tonight, but my goodness. All right, let's see how this round 2 series goes. It might be rough with Bronny can't throw a rock in the ocean James starting at point guard. The Blazers were up 3-1, but the Sonics stormed back and we're headed to a game 7. Unfortunately, in game 7, we're going to come up short, but regardless, I am proud of the Seattle Sonics. They have done some incredible things, and I guess they got Bronny James on the team now, which is really cool. But let's tune into the draft lottery, because the Vegas Vipers, they're looking for that number 1 overall pick. And they've got the number 1 odds, 20% chance to land it, and oh, they got robbed. They dropped down to 3rd overall, and the Thunder, who were just the number 1 seed, also get the number 1 pick. That's a robbery from the Vipers. But I still want to see who the Vegas Vipers end up drafting. The Thunder, picking at number 1, select Dylan Harper. At number 2, the Rockets select Cooper Flagg. He's the guy in this draft class from what I've heard. At the number 3 overall pick, the Vipers select Ace Bailey. Bailey comes in at a 78 overall. That's pretty good at only 18 years old. Maybe he can be the guy of the future for the Vipers. But man, let me tell y'all, in Seattle, the future is now. They're contending year after year, and they've kept their main guys like Jalen Duren and Zach LaVine. I think they had Clint Capella at one point though, and he's gone. Luckily, franchise legend Trey Lyles is still here. I think what both of these teams are missing right now, though, is that major star who they can really rely on. And also, the Vipers are seeing Drew Holiday regress crazy, and he's on a huge contract that could set them back. We'll see how it goes, but looking at the Sonics, I think they might have cap space next offseason if they end up letting go of Zach LaVine. So let's get into another season. This is year 3. Season is wrapped. Ja Morant ends up winning MVP. Cooper Flagg Rookie of the Year. I feel like the Vegas Vipers really missed out by not getting Cooper Flagg. It's unfortunate for them for sure, but Ace Bailey was good. He ended up making all-rookie first team, and the numbers were solid, especially for a first-year player. That's some great stuff. Meanwhile, the Sonics were back in the playoffs, 46-36, so not as good as the first couple years, but I think they might have lost out on a little bit of their depth in the offseason. The squad still hoop though, considering the players they have. I'm surprised they did so good. And then for the Vipers, Bradley Beal continues to lead the way. They gave him a 4-year contract. It might be over for them, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. By the end of that deal, Brad Beal might be a 78 overall. Like, it's cooked, bro. They gave him $140 million. That's bad. They also got Jeremy Grant making over $100 million. They might be done for over in Vegas, but I think the Sonics are a little bit smarter than that. Oh yeah, also the Vipers did not end up making the play-in. They won 36 games. Anyways, in round number 1, the Sonics are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they end up getting past them in 6. In round 2, they're taking on the Blazers. This was the same second round matchup that the Sonics had last year, but this time the Blazers are the 1 seed. Game number 1 of the series goes to us. They're going to take game 2. We take game 3. They take game 4. Game 5 also goes to us, and we beat them in 6. So we're in the conference finals here, taking on the Houston Rockets. This is a pretty good Rockets team, but I feel like we actually match up with them pretty well. Game 1 is going to go to us. Game 2 goes to Houston. Game 3 also goes to Houston. We're tied up at 2 apiece. Big game 5 on the way. Man, this Seattle team's got some dogs. I don't understand how we're making it so far in the playoffs almost every year. It does look like we're going to lose this game 5, but we could try and fight back in game 6. Come on, guys. Let's at least force 7. Ah, man. We're going to lose in 6 games, and the Pistons go on to win the NBA championship. I know that's a welcome sight for Pistons fans. Now, the Vipers are once again in the draft lottery. They have the 9th best odds this year, and they end up staying at 9. No crazy jump for the Vegas Vipers or anything. And with that 9th overall pick, they ended up drafting Isaiah Harwell, 76th overall 2-guard. Now, I wonder if either one of our teams have money to spend in free agency. It looks like the Vipers are over the cap and so are the Sonics. So we won't be seeing these teams getting active and trying to sign big name guys. That's really unfortunate though, because I think it would really help them in their quest to win an NBA championship. Maybe Bronny James is the guy that's going to save the Sonics though. That would be a pretty fire story. I mean, he's already up to a 79 overall. He might get an opportunity to start this year at the point guard. Meanwhile in Vegas, Ace Bailey's on the come up, but what did I tell y'all about Brad Beal? It might get ugly. Guardiola is also really good for the Vipers. They've got some decent young talent. They're just going to have to start to put it all together and try to move off of some of these old players who are on bad contracts. Another season in the books, and Wembanyama takes home the MVP this year, so congrats to Wemby. Greg Pop wins Coach of the Year. Now the Sonics, they were once again good. That's been pretty common throughout this video. And the Vipers, they were trash. Ace Bailey is comp though. Trust me, once he starts getting even better, he might be their ticket to the promised land. They've got some good young talent, so there's definitely some hope for the Vipers. And for the Sonics, the future is now. I mean, they're the team to beat in the league at this point in time. They're absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, they traded for Ben Simmons? Why would you trade for Mr. Triple Single? This might have just set the franchise back a decade. They traded Isaiah Joe and Sam Hauser for Ben Simmons' trash contract. Whatever, man. Round number 1, the Sonics are taking on the Pelicans, and they lost. You know why? This is the worst y'all have ever done, and y'all know why? Because y'all traded for Ben Simmons. Anyway, the Vipers, we're rooting for them. They need to get a top pick this year, and they end up getting the 5th pick. They might just be cursed, bro. The Vipers end up selecting Marcus Johnson with the 5th overall pick. They also had the 13th pick, which they used to draft Caden Samuels. The future is bright in Vegas. I'm low-key thinking the Vipers might start doing better than the Sonics, because the Sonics making that move for Simmons, bro. Oh, man, that was outrageous. Ace Bailey up to an 86 over in Vegas. Isaiah Harwell getting better. You see all the green arrows, players getting better. But oh man, this Bradley Beal contract. That's the biggest mistake they've made in the video. Also, Jeremy Grant, 75 overall, making $36 million. I know bro's ecstatic. And then in Seattle, you've got Zach LaVine going down. He's kind of on a bad contract. Ben Simmons, luckily he's on the last year of his deal. And then you've got Bronny James still on the come up here. I mean, this team should still be pretty decent, I would think. Season is wrapped, and look at Alexander Sarr taking home an MVP at 22. That's ridiculous. Congratulations to him. Greg Popovich wins Coach of the Year again. San Antonio is going to be a problem. And look at Ace Bailey. Oh my goodness, 25 and 11, and he makes all NBA this season. The Vipers might be here. They're the 5 seed. Seattle is the 3 seed. And if they end up making it to the conference finals, we could see a face-off, which might be unlikely. But anyway, checking out the stats for the Sonics, Bronny James was hooping this year. He ended up putting up some big numbers, 18 points, 8 assists a night. The Sonics also picked up Austin Reeves. And look at Ben Simmons, what a pickup. And then over in Vegas, of course, it was the Ace Bailey show. But they've also got some solid pieces around them. That team, they're starting to become really good. Round number 1, the Sonics are taking on Utah, and the Vipers are taking on the Blazers. Let's see if both teams can win. Right now, both our squads are down 3-2. The Sonics are going to force game 7, and the Vipers end up losing in 6. Let's see if Seattle can get out of round 1, and they will. They're moving on to face the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC is just unfair in the 2K simulation. I swear to y'all, they are so good. Game 1's going to go to us, though. OKC takes game 2, and game 3, and game 4. We're going to take game 5. Okay, the Sonics, they just got so much dog in them. They're trying to complete a 3-1 comeback, headed to game 7. Unfortunately, the 3-1 comeback is gonna come up short, and the Thunder end up winning. They advance to the finals to win the championship. Now it's just about these teams getting some more progression from the players currently on their team, or finding a way to pick up some superstars. The Seattle Sonics saw some regression from Zach LaVine and Austin Reeves, and Bronny James left the squad. This could be a year where the Sonics take a major step back because the team's looking kind of rough. Meanwhile, in Vegas, things are looking up. Ace Bailey is now a 90 overall. Golly, Bradley Beal 77 making 31 M's is outrageous. But you know what? I think that the Vipers are going to be pretty good next year. Season is wrapped. We are 6 years into it, and neither one of our teams have even made the finals. Y'all gotta lock in for me. The Vipers were really good, but the Sonics, they're falling off, man. 31 and 51 on the season. So we gotta focus in on what went wrong for the Seattle Sonics. Checking out the stats for the season, Jalen Duren was good. I think losing Bronny was bad. Also, LaVine is starting to get worse. They've got a couple issues here in Seattle they need to address. Meanwhile, in Vegas, everything's on the up and up. They've got a couple young stars, Isaiah Harwell and Ace Bailey. Also, Kwame Evans comes here and makes an impact. Overall, this team looks like it's on the come up. They got Trae Young? How did the Vipers manage to trade for Trae Young? Rui Hachimura and Bradley Beal for Trae Young and Spencer Dinwiddie. The finesse of the century. Yeah, I've seen enough. They might just win the championship. Round number 1, they're taking on the Nuggets, led by MVP Jokic. That didn't matter, though. They swept them. Round number 2, it's going to be the Spurs with Victor Wembanyama. Oh, my gosh, they got D Fox, too. This team's going to be tough. And we're tied up at 2-2. Big Game 5 on the way. Spurs win. We win Game 6. Big Game 7 coming up. Chance to advance to the conference finals. We're going to do it. We're going to the NBA Finals. Ace Bailey, he's incredible. Trigger Trae Young. He's been going off in the playoffs. And now we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the toughest teams in the world at 2K. Can we somehow do the impossible? Game number 1 goes to the Thunder. Game 2 goes to us. We're up 2-1. We're up 3-1. And the Vipers are headed to the finals, led by Ace Bailey, their homegrown 3rd overall pick. He was drafted to the team and has taken them to the NBA Finals. And now we've got the New York Knicks with Cam Boozer and Cade Cunningham. A solid squad, but we've got a great duo of our own in Trae Young and Ace Bailey. Game number 1 of the series goes to us. We're up 2-0. We're up 3-0. And the Knicks, they'll take game 4 and game 5. No way. But we're going to win in 6. Ace Bailey is named Finals MVP, and your Vegas Vipers are NBA champions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.